How do we predict shots in Nengi? This is a continuation of the talk about client-side prediction. When we were predicting movement in Nengi, we relied upon the server periodically sending us a message about our authoritative position and the ability of the Nengi client to know which commands we'd sent to the server hadn't been processed. We take ourselves, our entity, we move it to the last known authoritative position, and then we play our commands that have yet to be received by the server on top of that, and the result is our current position on the client. It's like a dog at the end of a leash. The leash is tied to the server, really, and we can walk a certain distance away from it on our leash till we're at the end of the leash. It's actually a little more complicated than that because the leash is constantly being reeled in and also constantly being let out. This is a sliding window. If the server lags really badly or we lag really badly, we'll find ourselves many commands ahead of the server. And then when these things catch back up, we'll find ourselves back to the end of a shorter leash based off our latency. Now, replaying commands over and over again, or at least replaying the unconfirmed ones, produces fantastic movement. However, shooting works differently. We wouldn't want to replay a shot every frame. If we were to replay a shot every frame, we would end up with, well, we would shoot once, and then every frame until the server had something to say to us about that shot, we would be shooting again, or at least on the client we would. So things that can happen just once need predicted in a different model. This model is shown here in a pretty brute force manner, where I literally look at what kind of command it is. If it's a movement command, I play it over and over and over again each frame. And if it's a fire command, I add a flag to it called predicted, meaning I used it for prediction. And I set that to true. Thus, as I go back through this command set, which takes a little while before we burn all the way through it, I'll replay the movement every frame, but I never replay a shot. The result of that is what we see here. Actually, that one's not connected. Where's the freshly connected one? Here's a freshly connected one, where we get one white shot and then a red shot confirmation from the server. Let me do that on the actual internet because without any lag, it's actually hard to see. Where is actual internet? Let's find it. All right, here's a server in New York. Let me turn on this lag hack, adding 250 milliseconds onto whatever my connection would have been to New York. Gonna refresh. You can see how laggy it is. It actually takes a while to load. So here I'm moving and shooting. You can see my predicted shot, and the red shot is getting very far away from me with this much simulated lag. Now, I would argue that when this is working correctly, these two lines are actually being drawn very close to one another. They're just being drawn at different times. But if the lag is really bad, it is possible to deviate them. In any case, what you would predict in a game is up to you. And that's the reason there's no like one size fits all for the predictions. The things you typically like to predict in games and generally work out are predicting your movement and predicting shots or actions that are very quick. It wouldn't make sense to predict something that is kind of slow or non-actiony, like you don't need to do some sort of prediction of moving items in your inventory. You can do something that's like that, where you give instant input to like clicking and dragging the items, and you'll make it disappear right away and then drop it. And that is, like prediction, but there's no like physics or that style prediction related to it. Other things that make no sense are, let's say you were shooting an extremely slow, like orb, like the BFG from Doom or something like that. That thing comes out and moves so slowly that predicting it would just be kind of weird because it would put it at a different position than where other people could see it. You'd be better off just suffering the lag of how long it took to shoot it, which is just your latency. Might not be too bad, and then creating an entity on the server as opposed to just doing instantaneous prediction. Prediction is hard, and if you need help with it, you can join the Nengi Discord. I'll put a link in the video. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the other half of prediction, which only relates to predicting shots, and that is how to lag compensate the shot on the server, meaning if someone's got a whole bunch of latency, they fire a shot, by the time that information makes it to the server, these objects are no longer in the position they were at when the shot was fired. How do we make that work?